And he's got all these lawyers around him to try to help him to do things. Many of the things that he's signing, putting his name on, he don't even know. He don't read them. He don't know what to say. And he did. He did say, "Hey, now, Mr. President, now this bill is going to be such and such a thing." You look at, it, yeah, okay. They get the pencil, put the Donald J. Trump scribble on there, then throw it up to you. He don't even know what he just signed. He only heard that somebody here telling him that's what he's supposed to be in. He didn't read it. He has no idea. The next time if you don't believe me, look at the next time he does it, and watch how it's done. When they had someone here standing here, one of his lawyers, hey, Mr. President, now this is going to be about such and such and such and such a day, and he's going to get the pen and he's going to then hold it up to you. That's how he does it. He don't even know what he just did. He just believed what they told him. He might have said something, but we're going to kill everybody, and he said, okay, make an executive order. And I watch this stuff, and I just sit back and shake my head. And say, oh my God, the dumbing down of American people. I said it since I can't believe, because many of you are still smart, and I know many of you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. I'm not I'm talking about, but there are many of you that don't know, have no idea. You don't even know understand what I just said. And I've had people like that too to come back and say things, or they try to say I said something that I did not say. I've had that happen many times. So okay, let me know that they got a little bit of that touch of dementia coming on. You know, okay, they live in a different world. So I understand that. So I try to tell you people that. So I hope that everything I'm telling you makes some sense to you, will help guide your life so you can make better judgments in whatever you do. The only option you got is to protest. Also, now this one before I go any further, I want to congratulate our police commander, Mr. Muldrow, because they just added a couple more new police officers on our force. That's good. That keep building up our force so we have more and more police officers to keep our town safe. And I say that's a good thing. And our mayor, Michael Helfers. Michael Helfers will be our mayor until January when the new mayor gets sworn in. Michael's still the mayor. Okay, I said anyway. I want to take that. I just heard that he just got some new officers in there. That's good. Want to congratulate those officers and welcome to the force and helping the city. Excuse me. So we hope that they can keep our town better and better, cut down on the violence and the shootings and the murders. It's nothing like it was. Folks, you think about how back was time back, it was a murder every single day, sometimes even two. And every time we got more police officers, they got to the area and broke it down. We kept saying enough is enough is enough. Everybody was hollering enough is enough. Yeah, well, criminals are criminals. They're going to be that way. They're going to think outside the back. People don't know how to argue with each other. Okay, they don't know to argue without someone without getting a gun and shooting and killing someone. They think they win the argument that way. They do. They believe that. That's why they do it. They can't beat you fist to fist, so they take a gun and kill you. Then they think they won until they're sitting up in prison, locked up behind the bars like an animal for the rest of their lives. Then suddenly, now they want to cry. Too late, because that's how stupid people are. Hello, you live with Joe.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
Hi, what's going on?
How you doing there, Joe?
All right.
This is Rick.
Hi, Rick. How you doing?
One day at a time. That's all we can do.
Hey, I want to let you know our buddy Charles Lee will be here on the 20th.
What'd you say again?
On the 20th of this month, Charles Lee's going to be here. I'll get him to perform for you.
Oh. So you got your Christmas party?
Yeah. Well, no, I had to cancel it, man. The tourists retired. They were booked up so much.
Yeah.
It's a shame, man. It really is. This is the first time I've not been able to do it. But Bobby Simpson called me, told me I could have the Christmas eggs on the 20th. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I said, because I don't,
know.
Yeah, I said, well, That's okay, but
Well, you did all those years, and like you say, nothing's ever going to go without the proper people. So you can't do everything on your own. I couldn't do it. So
right, right.
getting old.
I said, well, what I tell people, just keep our taste in God. It's going to be better. Maybe we can make it better next year. Don't things are taking off. Everything ain't going to stay down. This is just a test to see if you really love God. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna be okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to hear from you.
Huh?
I'm glad to hear from you.
Yeah, I was like, well, I was back in hospital, and I was with the doctors, and
Yeah.
I'm still phoning on them, but I think I know what it is. They're supposed to get me an OSS, I guess,
Okay.
and look at both my legs and see which knee they're going to replace first.
Oh, wow.
I think it's going to have to be the right leg, 'cause that's one. From the time I fell last summer, and when I fell to Hershey, and I kept saying, "Why is my right leg, pointing in?" Oh, it'll get better. He said, it'll get. Well, here it is 6 months, and he never got straightened out. So I'm going to OSS, and if they look at that leg and say the right leg's worse, let's operate on it and get it over and done with.
Are they giving you exercises?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I go to Greater twice a week for therapy.
Yeah,
and it feels pretty good.
My doctor wanted me to go to class about my arm because I think I told the what's Charlie the rotator thing in my arm.
Oh,
Lifting so hard.
I'm thinking I'm gonna maybe later have to look at my shoulder because I get in the morning it hurts like whatever.
Yeah. Don't think about pain.
First of all, I gotta get both of these knees done, and we'll see what else after that. So, how you been? Okay?
I'm doing okay. I say every time I get pain, I know I'm still here.
Yep. Yeah, I know, brother.
Yeah, that's just life.
Yeah, I know. So, how's everybody in the family doing good?
Yeah, I had to say something. I was looking at that, and I didn't know what to know if I was going to try to play it or not. It was a video going back to show when you men was in Vietnam. There were many things they didn't show until now. See, there was not only the enemy you had to battle, but you had the insects and the animals that you had to battle.
This is everything.
Oh yeah, they were just showing that.
You never thought you were gonna make it out of the face alive.
I think I wanted time to see if I can download it. I said, and I saw some of the stuff. I said, "Oh my God, how did you make out of Jesus?" Oh my God, the people don't realize how terrible things was.
So when's Charles leaving? Charles coming up to play again?
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah. December 20th. See,
December 20th. Okay. I'll circle my calendar.
All right, but I'm gonna make sure he takes your song.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, you everybody take care. Tell everybody I said hi.
I will, sir. God bless you, sir. You take care of yourself and take care of yourself.
God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is that's Rick. If you don't know, that's Rick fucking Ross. He and his family has helped us so much. He's a Vietnam veteran, and he's helped us so much. Many things I've done I would not have been able to do without him or his wife. We took him when we helped to do the food at the Christmas Addicts there. Stuff him and his wife, they helped to serve, helped me do the show. The guide along we had with the audience. We had fun. We enjoyed our life. And I still enjoy it. I've said I haven't ruled it out. Things are just a little different. It's a little bit harder now than it was, but we're still planning on it. I didn't give up. I just trying to get my other older sister trying to make me come to California. I'm just trying to duck her. She's getting all the pay my plane fare to come. I said no, I don't want to. I didn't lose nothing out there. Now that Iris is gone, my other sister's gone. She's next to the oldest, and she keeps wanting me to come live out there with her. I said, I got the room for you. I got the place for you. I said, that's okay. That's fine. But I don't know. But your houndsman calls me all the time. She usually call me. I'm surprised she didn't call me today because I've been on her. I say, listen, I know you're getting old, but every Saturday I'm trying to get my bath, go get in the shower, clean up for the show. You're calling me. Oh, it's a Saturday. I said, yes, this is Saturday. I said, please don't call me on a Saturday. Any damn Saturday. Well, I don't know, because today so far I'm not what if she didn't call yet. But she's always telling me and want to complain about California and then want me to come live out there. I said, no, thank you. how hot it is and how bad this is. I said, and you want me to come live there? Why? That's how misery loves company. I said, yeah, no. That's okay. But anyway, I just say, well, see, God loves you, man. She's all right. Okay. What else did we have? And Charlie, I'm trying to think of all the things that I was dealing with this week alone, and I was talking about it. Was talking to some people about it, and then other things was said. I know it's about this about what would happen with the government shutdown and what happened, how it affect people's lives. And listen to this. It just showed me the evils that's in our world. But I try to get the people, and I've been showing people things about God. I've been doing some of them. I guess we did, didn't we? About the devil's got an enemy. It ain't just God. He has somebody. Has an enemy that he's scared of. And I was going to show you that. There's a lot of stuff that I've been learning about going on that a lot of people, church people, don't always know about. They know a lot. They read the Bible, but there's a lot of stuff that they didn't pay attention to. And since I got nothing but time, I got nothing but time to pay attention to it, so I got to do that. So I'm sitting there now. What do I do now? Well, here we go. Oh, and by the way, I will get the art paints out so you can do some oil paintings with me. Yeah, I've been telling my daughter because that's something that reminds me. I have to talk about that. Norman Rockwell. Back in the years when I was younger, and I went to the famous artist school. Norman Rockwell was one of my teachers. Him and Lorraine Fox. That was one of my when I did something I had to turn it in, and they would grade it for me. And I remember one of the questions I asked him how he just to paint skin. When I saw the pictures, how he can make the hands look so real. I remember he told me it was like X's, slanting X's, and I didn't forget that. And so I'm going back to a lot of stuff I remember. I know, but just a lot of things I used to do because I was always trying to learn something. I just loved to learn. It's fascinating me some of the things I ran into people. Like I said, we used to go to the observatory with my buddy Charlie. I think we used to go out 83 somewhere out there towards Lewistown. And there's a big observatory somewhere out there. I don't even, I know we pulled off the road and went up there somewhere. And we used to go in there where the big ones, with the telescope goes through the building. You rotate the chair, you put these big things in, and we were doing the M16 Glauber clusters. I remember we was looking for that because they was trying to make sure that they were looking at a possible another planet. And we had to write down what we see we had to do. And you usually want to do it in the fall season without the sun and the heat and stuff. And you want it when it's cold because you can't smoke in there. You'll be freezing. Better wrap up. It's cold. And I used to sit there and do that with my buddies and stuff, and then go with the other college kids, and we always did that. And the M16 Glover clusters, I remember all that stuff. Wow, man, my life has been something, man. When I think about the things I've done that a lot of people have never done, but I know it's out there. I'm pretty sure it was out towards Lewisburg. I just know, but all I did is I was riding with them, so they drove out there, and all of a sudden we pulled off at 83, and they had a certain road that went into. The next thing is off with grass and the wood, and you want to go out, and you had to spray yourself for ticks. You always had to do that. And we do it at night, of course, because you got the stars up there. And I remember I just said, look at how big this building was, round building, the telescope going right through the building. And these big things that were real big around, we would put them up there and put them in there so we could look back and sit back in the chair and sit back and look at it. And it was so beautiful looking at outer space and the stuff we were seeing. I said, wow, man. And we had to make sure we got it right to where we were supposed to study about it and write down whatever we saw, anything that was weird. They were checking about, we thought they'd seen another planet. I think they do now. I think they said we did. Uh, remember, because we used to go up to the Gettysburg College with some of the students there, was also part of us doing up there at that time. I've been involved in so many things, folks. I know, God, I don't even have the stuff I don't even want to think about. But there's a lot of memories that I've done that a lot of people's never done, and I did so much of that stuff. Anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else that I'm missing. You can't think of nothing, can you? Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, except the dogs. You know, every time y'all get up and the dogs come down, they come back to me. Yeah, but both of them. They come to me me to pet them. And they're looking for some food. I said, I'm not the one going to feed you. I said, I go follow your mom and daddy. Get out of here. They come both of them, especially the puppy one. He always comes up and make me want a puppy, and then he want to growl at me and bark. And Zeus being so big, Zeus beats him up all the time because he's the bigger dog. Zeus takes and beats him up and smacks him out, pushes him around. And I said, Zeus, stop it. I don't know. Animals. We got that stuff. I got two pit bull dogs. The one is the oldest, and the other is just a puppy yet. But then he's crazy. He's bad. He comes in and sit back and try to bark at me and growl. So really, I said, you think you're bad till you snatch him up? Then he said, I said, oh what? I said, I thought you was tough. I said, he's tough. Animals are something, okay, but they love you, you know. Anyway, and of course, my daughter, if her dog, which is Zeus, the biggest pit bull, if he don't move his tail right, the first thing she do is running right to the vet, end up paying hundreds of dollars for him getting some more pills. She keeps doing that. That's her pet. That's her baby. And she got because if he don't move his tail right, say he ain't moving his tail right. He runs right to the vet. It always costs hundreds of dollars to get this. I said, well, there you go. You want to I said, but that's how much she just loves her dog. You know. Zeus had him since he was a puppy, you know, and he is fault too. And no matter where she go, he follows her. He follows her. Now he's got the puppy to learn to come up the steps. He taught the puppy how to go up and down the steps now. I saw that. Or now Zeus is a bad influence, huh?
Get the other dog to like get in the trash, and when me and him got off work the other night, Prime was out the cage. Somehow Prime broke out of his cage and pooped everywhere in the room.
Oh my goodness.
So, and I don't have time when I'm on the job. I cannot be on my phone. Like I can't keep looking on my phone and stuff like that.
Yeah, so what you said on her phone, she got a camera in her room so she can look at the dogs and holler at them. You know, but the other dog, the other one they call the new dog, they call him Prime. He's all white. He's all white. Of course, he look like an albino, really. And they call him Prime. And that one there, he's
he's a staffy, so he's gonna be real muscular and short.
Yeah.
Like have little legs.
Yeah.
Like, so Zeus is always gonna be like bigger than him.
Yeah, I know.
Than him. Zeus is always gonna be.
So that I saw your turtles the other day.
Yeah, I thought Whiskey died. Yeah, I did think I thought he was dead last night.
We did what?
I thought he was dead.
No, you thought he was dead?
Because it was so cold, the temperature and the water.
Yeah.
So I checked on him, but he's okay. I had to mix some warm water in there, but he has them lights. That turtle, the type of turtle he is, he could be in cold water, but you have to have them lights. He's supposed to lay in under that light.
Yeah.
The other turtle, the snapping turtle, could be in cold water. That don't matter. He's huge. He can handle that. But
now, when you talking about this is her pets. You got the dogs and the turtle. Now, the one turtle we found outside one day was getting ready to drive off in the car, and all of a sudden, that's when there was a turtle. Where it come from, we don't know, but she got turned. Now she done made that a pet. She don't take that and put it in that cage. She called the vet. Oh God, that's a bad.
Better than having kids.
It's better than having kids, huh?
I feel like kids can hurt your feelings a lot more, but dogs and animals can hurt your feelings too if something happens to them or they die.
Yeah. But that's the thing about dogs. You know, they only have a certain life and before they're gone too. You know, that's what I like about Rosie, my sister-in-law. She's only had 3 dogs, and all of them lived their life and then died.
2 dogs, and she had both of them for 14 years. Both.
Yeah. Though they were like her kids to her, because she used to take them to Burger Kings and McDonald's and buy them 2 sandwiches.
Get a whole meal.
Yeah, get a whole meal for them. Yeah, just get them for them.
And a frosty.
Yeah, get them a frosty. Now, don't they have this pup stuff at Starbucks so you can go there and get stuff?
Yeah, but it's stupid because it's whipped cream. So I just buy the whipped cream. A lot of time at Wise Market or Giants, they have them 2 for $5 or a good deal.
Yeah.
So I just buy the whipped cream and I give it to them at the house. But some of them places give it to you for free.
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
Well, I know. Every time you went for your Starbucks coffee, they give you one of your pup thing or whatever.
Yeah.
They be back there tearing up and making a mess on the back of my bed. I said, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think something's back there, but they haven't had none for a while because they haven't been listening.
Oh.
And then with me working all the time, it hasn't.
Yeah, I know. But you guys y'all work 7 days a week.
Yeah, I'm supposed to work Saturdays.
Well, I'm sitting
But
there.
I had to tell them, like, I help you with the show, like, but it's peak season there, so it's real busy there, so they need people 7
Well,
days.
see, when y'all are gone, I'm just sitting home by myself, sitting out there all
I told
hours.
you come work out there.
I don't want to go out there and work.
That
No.
is it's old women out there that like old
No,
men.
wait a minute. Didn't you just have was a Puerto Rican guy went and grabbed that
No,
woman?
a black Muslim guy.
A black Muslim guy went and grabbed a woman's breasts and just held onto her
last
breast.
night, and then
He
try
had
to
to call
lie,
the police on him.
and then try to lie. Like he was that happened the other day. I didn't see that, but last night,
Yeah.
no, the night before, well, Friday, yeah, it was Friday. He started coming up and rubbing her face and all this other stuff, and I was like, I don't know what's up with him. So she went and reported it, and they fired him, they terminated him, and he was talking about he was gonna come back and F everyone up.
So he's gonna come back and shoot up everybody.
He was telling my boss, F you.
Did
they
notify the police about this so they can be watching
They
this
got
guy?
them little rent-a-cops security, and I laugh at that. Like I told Kendra, at the end of the day, I did security too.
Yeah.
And this is what I try to explain to people, and people think I'm being smart.
Yeah.
No one in this world that I know of is scared of a security guard.
Yes,
I'm telling you, they don't got tasers, they don't got guns. If a security guard try to stop me, I'm gonna laugh in their face.
Now you know what got me when I went to Walmart the other day. Wolfman does his show.
Yeah, he does it.
He's a security guard now out there.
Security guards do not scare me.
Yeah, I said,
I feel like
Wolfman, what are you
officers,
doing out there?
like actual police,
Yeah.
deters crime.
Yeah.
Not security.
I said, okay.
So they have that at the job now, and they was like, oh, well, the security guard could watch and make sure he leaves the premises.
You know, I saw what the caller told me to meet her up at Wise Market the other day, and she said, Joe, why didn't you call me? She came to my house. I said, uh-oh, and I was trying to duck her, and she said, well, Joe,
tell her that she could come to your house.
No, she was at my house.
But I'm gonna tell her that she
No,
can come anytime.
don't tell her that. I'm telling her.
I'm like, he's always home by himself between 3 and 11.
No.
Come to the house.
No, she said, well, say, don't you get my number? You should call me. I said, she said, well, ask Richard. Richard had my number. I said, I know I got the number, and I don't want to call. I just said, I'm ducking her. I don't want to. No, I said, I ain't got time for that. Oh, my God. I said, all she just want me to listen to her problems.
That's the problem with the world nowadays. That's all anybody wants you to do.
With all the properties, she has over 20 to 30 properties that she's renting out. And look how much money she
would. The crazy thing is, she won't fix them. She's a
I know. But she said, you know, and she wants to complain to me about who else was taking some of her money and all this, and who's backstabbing her and all that. And I had to sit there and listen to that, and that's why she wants me to come up there. I guess because I listened to her.
I feel like it's women, but I've noticed I've met men that does it too.
You know,
nowadays people just want to be heard.
Now you know what people don't know. When I lived on King Street, but when the one lady used to come to visit me is the one that owns Penny's Market on King Street.
Yeah, they got rid of that. You know that, right?
No, did they?
Young sold that to some Hispanics.
Oh, did he?
He said that his health was getting bad.
Yeah, I'm expecting since some guy pulled a gun on it. Yeah. Well, see, I know it was Blanche Robart and her husband that did all that, and she owned almost all the houses on King Street there and stuff. Blanche would come to my house and sit back and complain about her daughter. And I come in here, another guy says, oh, here's Blanche. She come in, yeah, Joe, and she's almost crying about her daughter and how bad they treating her. And I had to sit there and listen to her for over an hour to calm her down, get her back. Say, okay, Blanche. Oh, man. I said, now look at some of the things that I've had to do. Everybody come to me for advice. I said, you know, but they don't take it. They don't, I said, oh, my God. And I look at all those people. Because now I got that woman coming to me. And the whole time she's telling me all this stuff out there, the money. And she told the people to give her back all the keys to her house. Because she said that, well, what's she calling the PFO or something? They was taking her money and all this and all. She's talking about she's gonna have to put $60,000 in the one that burnt. And I said, okay. She said, well, I was gonna sell it, but no, I'm not. I'm gonna put $60,000 into it. And I was saying, is it worth that? I didn't say that. I said, okay. Sometimes I think she's trying to get me involved with it, and I said no, because she's always telling me about her
And I don't
property.
understand. I think she's lying because when the fire people was in there, it is not that much damage.
I know, I know.
I'm
Because
telling you right now, it's not as much damage as she's
it was
saying.
only on that one side of the house
Just like
from the
no
smoke in there.
damage was really done in the kitchen. But what I think is funny is when we went to go get the rest of the stuff, all of a sudden there's damage done in the kitchen. I'm not gonna say names, but I just find that real fishy. Like
Well,
I feel like stuff was done for a
Well,
short
what she
purpose.
come in telling me that someone kicked in the back door of that house the other day. I said, well, I didn't see nothing on my cameras on there. I said, because I looked on the cameras. She said, yes. So she called the police, but the cop never came. She had me out there waiting for her because she wanted the police to come and investigate it. And they didn't never show up. And she was around there for hours and hours until she finally gave up and went home. And I said,
I don't know how anybody could kick that in. They have it all. They have it locked, and they have
right.
and they
I
have
know.
wood all around. I'm a little.
I know.
Right.
But the fire chief has it as abandoned. He put the red sticker on it.
Yeah.
Nobody's supposed to live in there, and that's why I just said well, I don't know what to tell her. But they got to come and tell me all their problems. Okay, what am I? Am I that good of a listener or something?
I guess I am too. People do the same thing to me.
I told you, well, you guys.
Yeah, Kendra, like you're not at the job to make friends. People at the job be telling me they're. I know everybody's business in that job, and I'm tired of hearing it.
I had that too when I used to work. I used to always
so
get
tired of
I
hearing
I had it all the time too. I used to have the women tell me about their marital problems, what their husband was doing, and who doing. I had the guy
Yeah,
vice
I get
versa.
so tired of hearing about it.
I just sit back. Okay, what am I supposed to do about this? You know,
I'm like, well, I want y'all to hear my problems.
Oh my God.
Ain't nobody gonna hear mine.
See, that's why I said I know we all have problems. All of us do. But you got to learn how to be a man or a woman and accept your problems and deal with them. And figure what's causing you the problems. Is it because of the people you met? Are you in the wrong relationships or what's going on? And just like I said, when I'm talking about the president here, and I see that so many people don't truly understand what's going on. That's why I was just telling them about. I'm going to repeat it anyway today, till we get ready to run the video. I'm going to when I listen to this news every day. Oh, he's done. He's done. They got all the ex-presidents talking. Oh, he's done. He's done. I said, he's done what? Yeah, Trump's done. Trump's not done. God. I said, when the man's still in office, ain't nothing done. He's still there doing it. I said, and I said, then I left. I said, why y'all talking so much? You ain't gonna do nothing. So why you keep putting it on news? Yeah, Trump this and that. He lost this case. He lost that case. I said, and what difference does it make to him? The man is still sitting there, just keep on right on doing it. He just ignore y'all. I said, and they said, yeah, they're going to impeach him. I said, do you feel really understand what you're hearing? I said, this man is not going to resign. To me, yeah, he should resign. I said, he's not going to. I said, common sense would tell you something. You got the man telling me if he's not the president, he's going to jail. He's got all those high-paid lawyers around him now, paying Bommy and all of them. They're all letting him know. They've been trying to find ways to get him around the laws that he's already been convicted of, and they can't. Judges ain't going to turn him down. I say, so he knows if he ain't the president, he's going to go to jail. Man is 79 years old, is like myself. I said, you think you want to go to jail and die in jail? I said, he ain't going to do that. I said, so if they come out about it, I said, don't you people understand what you're doing and what you're saying? I said, you say something and you don't even understand what you're actually talking about. I said, as long as you threaten this man, I said, see, if you wanted someone to drive, why would you sit there and threaten him about it if you ain't the president going to jail? Then you think he's going to resign? I said, he's not that dumb. I said, he might be old and senile, but he ain't that senile that he's that stupid. I said, I said, the people just need to stop and get off of it and behave themselves. I said, you done what you done, you stuck with it. So you might as well just suffer it and be done about it. Maybe next time you won't make the mistake again. Learn from your mistakes. I said, 'cause to make a mistake is just human. but don't keep making the same dumb mistake over and over again. That's something different. You know, you got to learn. I say, you know, everything that this man has done has shown you the worst things that a president can do and how mistakes can happen and how dumb you people really are. He's really showed you. He's put America through the mill here. He's been doing it, showing you how the man, some criminal can get it. He was already a criminal. You already knew it. But you still put him in there. And would you expect him to really become a Christian now? That ain't going to happen. They're about money and wealth. He's been taught that all his life. And he keeps doing. He's got more money now than he had before he became president. He's now a billionaire. He's a multi-billionaire. And he's getting. And then the thing that makes sense is a lot of people are giving him money. They're giving it to him. They give it to him to control him for what they want. I said, well, there you go. Well, that's life. Okay. Let me just, what video did we got that we want to run for the? I know I did. I can't run them all, but whatever. You can run something. I'll give them a break. So they probably started hearing me talk by now. I'm checking my phone for something. Okay, go ahead.
Ô, cái gì à? Ô, kêu ơi. Ôi, xuống rồi! Ô, cái gì à? Ô, kêu ơi. Thịt trong nào vậy? Thịt kia đâu? Phát ra. Chấm mạnh vào. Chấm nhanh. Dùng dọn thôi. Nó cào phát vào tay. Đang với quả lồng rồi. Bên kia. Còn hốc kìa. Cẩn thận. Ủa. Từ phát luôn ra. Ôi. Tội lắm đi. Ôi. Nghe kêu tội lắm. Cậu hốc đây này. Ủa. Đấy. Sao chấm cái này nhá. Kinh nghiệm phá không? Chả bán đá à? Chơi kìa, chú cây. Phịt đâu này? Bị cạn rộng nó càng phịt mạnh ngoại. Mới nào? Đấy. Cả đấy. Đấy. Gặp chúa là chết đấy. Ôi. Đấy có cái hàng này. Đấy. Ngọc đá đi. Mạnh. Đá luôn đi. Đẹp rồi đá. Phát ra. Sử đá đi. Chấm cây ra. Được. Đào cho mày ngọc. Nó. Đây. Đó, nó thịt bự lắm. Đá đây. Thịt bự lên đây. Đẹp quá. Đá đây. Vẫn chứ, đừng gậy đây mà. Nắm không? Xe ra. Đừng gặp nắng không? Bao nhiêu thằng mà còn phải sợ nữa ra.
Đấy, gầm. Để lao đi.
Kia rồi, đây. Đâu, đây, hang đây này. Đấy, kia kìa. Hang gì đấy. Không, kìa, tôi vừa thấy đùn nữa luôn. Đấy, thấy không? Đấy. Đấy là
Cây gì không?
không, dưới à? Rồi, thấy không?
Ôi, còn
Chỗ này này, đấy.
Phải nhá.
Đấy.
Phải đó nhá, các bạn. Nó ghê lắm đấy.
Đấy cái gì?
Đen xì quá.
Rắn.
Ôi, hả?
Nhiều thế. Ồ. To. Đấy. Ôi kìa. Đây kìa. Ôi đây này. Đấy. Đây. Ra chân này. Bỏ chân ra chẳng. Đấy, thấy không? Chân kìa. Đấy. Ra này. Không bỏ cái đấy. Ai à? Đá bung ra. Đi. Lấy cái.
Đấy. Chúng ta còn phải cỡ lắm đây. À kìa. Ôi trời, một ổ luôn vậy. Đây, một ổ luôn. Đây. Một ổ luôn nè. Đấy, ổ luôn. Ồ, đây. Ồ, đây. Đây. Đấy. Ai. Nó chỉ phải tiết trong này. Này kia nó cũng tôi nhá. Đấy. Đưa. Ai chạy. Ôi trời, một ổ luôn.
Đâu rồi cái mốc kia đâu. Lúc đó là nó thay đầu ra, kiểu thế nó thấy mình là nó như vậy.
Ôi, một ổ luôn tôi bảo rồi. Đấy.
Con ra một thôi, ra rồi không vô được đâu.
Ra đây chạy mất đấy, bắt từ từ thôi, bắt từ từ.
Ồ,
Từ từ sửa.
một ổ luôn.
Thôi.
Đấy, bắt từ từ thôi.
Lúc một ổ.
Kia con em bầu nhá.
Kia. Bắt con to trước, Bắt con to trước.
Con này ra đây bắt trước.
Bắt con to trước.
Ây da, đấy là phì đấy, đúng tiếng đấy.
Tiếng này luôn.
Bữa nãy nó thò đầu qua mà
Khả năng
đi lại.
đúng con này phì luôn ạ. Lúc này.
Kìa chân kìa.
Cẩn thận chân. Mùi, vào.
Đấy cho con này vào.
Thằng kia chạy xuống hộ mấy thằng kia. Đếm cho được mấy con nhá, đếm đi.
Con kia tờ kìa.
Con này thì bé hơn con trước, con trước.
Con mày trong này này.
Đấy, phì phở.
Đấy nhìn cái đầu
Phì phở ác không? Đấy.
bao nhiêu nó phịt.
Không, có một con nó phì thôi.
Chắc này. Ai à? Con này. Ôi trong này còn đây, trong này luôn.
Còn nhiều.
Nhiều lắm.
Nhìn một đống cái gì thì chả nhiều ra.
Trong này còn này.
Con này mới con đấy. Ôi.
Kinh chưa?
Đấy nó cũng.
Đấy. Phỉ kinh chưa? Đấy.
Ai da.
Đấy.
Cứ thế. Đấy tôi vào.
Wow,
vắt.
Ô.
Đây. Con này to thế. Con này to nhất này. Đi. Kia đừng ấy nữa nó
Phỉ ác đấy.
3 con à?
3 con rồi.
Phải không?
Còn có đây, còn nhiều.
Đây vẫn còn đây.
Còn nhiều, còn 4-5 con
vào ố luôn ạ.
Phải được chục con.
Nó đang lích, đang vào hàng kìa. Nó đang vào hàng
kia. Nó chạy mất rồi. Nó chạy mất.
Đấy đang vào hàng tiếp đấy.
Ô,
trong đấy vẫn còn hàng. Ô, nó đang vào hàng rồi. Ô. Đấy, đâu. Mày
vào đi. Nào đi.
Trong đấy còn hàng tiếp.
Lên cái bộ.
Được mấy con nào? Bây giờ có 3 con này là con thứ 4.
Ôi. Lên, tôi lấy cái túi nữa. Không, chạy mất hỏng đấy. Chạy mất đấy. Phát lấy mạnh xử lấy dao phát đằng kia đi. Phát trên ạ. Nó có đường lên trên là nó chạy đấy. Vừa thấy một đống thế mà bây giờ còn thấy. Đây nó có đường ra đây rồi.
Nào nhìn cái nhách.
Có dao đâu anh? Có dao đâu vậy?
Chạy mất à?
Chạy. Đưa mạnh vướng con dao kia tôi chém đây, nó ra đây rồi.
Đâu?
Nó ra đây rồi. Đưa con dao đây. Đưa con dao kia.
Có đưa tôi.
Nhìn thấy một đống mà. Nó đi ra này mẹ rồi. Cậu bắn nhanh lên, cứ lừng khừng thằng có mạnh ở trên. Chả ấy hộ. Bắn nhanh lên.
Đây.
Đâu?
Đây này, cái khúc nó còn đây này.
Đâu?
Đây này, cái khúc nó còn đây này.
Nhiều, tôi thấy nhiều lắm chứ không phải là có một con đấy. Mạnh lên, có cửa hàng ra đây này.
Đấy.
Đây này.
Ai? Đấy, là còn sợ thế rồi. Đâu? Ui giời ơi. Đấy, đấy, bên kia nó có hàng của nó này.
Đây này, ra đây rồi.
Kìa bắt vào trong nó chạy mất.
Lấy cái ba lô có túi nữa mẹ ơi. Đây. Đó cái túi nó có túi nữa đây. Này, mẹ ơi.
Kìa.
Tôi trong này có con nữa này. Đây này. Đây con nữa đây này.
Nhìn thấy không?
Có đây này. Tôi thấy vừa đây này.
Đấy.
Đây trong này đâu anh? Trong này còn con nữa. Bắt nhanh lên đào cái túi đi.
Đấy. Xì phảo ghê lắm mọi người. Nhiều thế nhỉ?
Trong này có con nữa.
Trời, nó ăn đáng gì? Trời, mà nó
Cái này bình thường.
nó phải con cách thoát hiểm.
Còn bên này nữa.
Trên kia khói nó phải bè mã lên trên kia đi. Chứ có mà rời tìm.
Nào đi.
Đây.
Đây. Cái cây đâu à?
Trong này còn mỗi hàng nữa.
Đấy.
Hốc to nữa.
Lấy cái móc đây này, kéo.
Nó còn đang đi vào kia. Còn đang tiến nữa. Nó đang tiến lên.
Đào xong nắm đuôi kéo ra cho khỏi mệt.
Đấy. Ai da. Đố không biết nó đi đâu.
Nào đi đấy. Đào bung ra. Đưa đào. Đưa đào. Đào này.
Nó đang ăn lùi rồi. Nó đang lùi lại rồi. Là thế cả đang tùng rồi. Thế rồi. Thế này.
Cái hỏng này đưa cái móc của tôi đâu rồi?
Móc ra được.
Móc đây.
Đưa. Khả năng nó tùng rồi. Tùng là nó lùi. Khả năng tùng nó lùi. Ai đây. Đấy đang lùi. Đấy.
Ai chả đang
lùi. Thách lấy ra rồi. Cài số lùi à?
Kéo thì chả kéo được.
Không, để yên sẽ tự nó lùi.
Tự nó lùi ra thôi.
Đấy, đang lùi à?
Chỗ này khó đào, mù đá.
Đấy, động trên nó lùi đừng lấp hang rồi. Lùi. Đấy, ra rồi.
Tôi chọc đồ này, đây là thông lên đây thôi.
Đấy. Cái đó.
Thông lên đây
Đấy.
thôi.
Đấy, nó động vào nó lại tụt vào.
Sứa đừng nói.
Nó lại tụt bãi vào ấy. Để tự nuôi để mẹ. Cho nó vào không ta lại đào.
Đây rồi, đấy.
Đâu?
Ở này.
Dạ, đất đối. Được. Không tin tưởng. Không tin tưởng một tay nghe.
Sắp vừa thôi. Đâu cái sứa. Từ.
Rồi. Im.
Gai rồi.
Để nhẹ nhàng cho nó ra.
Đấy,
Kiểu cu ấy.
Không chơi với này.
Đấy.
Rồi.
Mọi ơi.
Rồi.
Kinh không?
Xem qua con nữa.
Mình đang tìm lỗ để chui tiếp. Tin tớ. Chui ăn nha. Kìa lại nhìn cái hang của nó kìa.
Từ.
Kinh không?
Mấy con tất cả nhỉ?
5 con này.
Đâu 6 con. Cái túi kia 4 con kìa.
Ấy. Thế. Nốt đi.
Hết rồi.
Nào, bơi ngoài để tao bơi ngoài để ngửi.
Ngửi đi. Hết rồi.
Tưởng ngửi biết không? Đi. Nó nhẫn. Tùng mã. Chọc đây Tùng.
Hết rồi.
Mà nó phải tung thì nó mới nuôi ra. Chứ nó sẽ tung ở đấy đấy.
Đây là kiếm rồi.
Được đấy, này. Tải luôn. Này,
6 con rồi.
đấy.
Đây.
Ừ. Hàng rắn đúng rồi.
Đây ông đặng về đi xuống dưới kia tìm ra đi. Nghỉ tí đã.
Thế mà đi xuống dưới này. Chính là dưới này khả năng hay có. Dưới này kiểu nó
Mát.
gần ven nước nó hay
Đúng rồi,
ở.
chính là chuẩn men đấy.
Nó phải ấy.
Cái gì thế phải có cái gần nước thì nó mới sống được.
Nó phải có nước nó sống được.
Đây.
Đi.
Xay rắn đi hay là không xay đi, để đéo xay đâu. Tôi đi vậy thôi. Đưa dao đây.
Cái giá xuống cái tung.
Không ơi, xay rắn đi. Không, xay rắn.
Okay, well, did you have fun finding snakes? You know, I had to remember what's the girl had a snake in their yard on Columbia Avenue. She had a snake was come crawling in her backyard and crawling in her kitchen. And she went in there, and the snake was on the floor. It scared the Jesus out of her. She said, all these colors in it. And she said, I don't know where it came from. I said, I said, well, we're cutting down and cleaning out their areas. Now they come back and to live in the city. That's what they do. She was scared of it, the snake. I said, yeah, they're out here. I said, you can find them in your backyard. You keep letting the grass and the weeds grow, they'll be back there too. They'll wiggle back in your stuff in there. I said, I know. I said, because that's why I had a video showing them when the people went in their backyard here, there was a snake crawling in the weeds back in there coming towards their house. I said, you better keep your cut down. Because they look for places to hide at. Snakes like the stuff they can hide up under in the holes and stuff, and they look for that. They'll come in. I said, so you got to be careful what you do. You know. Yeah. Are you calling him? Oh, I don't know either. But yeah, okay. But I hope that you enjoyed that. But I used to do that stuff. I used to go digging up for the snakes and stuff too. Because they get those holes and they can get in your yard. And you have to dig them out, and you'll see them in there. Get them out of there. The snakes like to dig in down, and they're good at it. They're good at sliding into those holes and stuff. They come out to sneak and catch like mice or even rabbits. They're good at it. They're good at snakes, especially poisonous ones, because they can bite them and then they die, and then they can swallow them. That kind of stuff. Then they have to sit in the sun so they can digest in their stomach. The heat and the sun is done to help them digest the food whenever they eat something like that. But they got to remember this, especially in the places like well, now you don't have to worry about it. You went down there, Lake Redmond, and those places because the winter weather, the snakes hibernate now. But they're down there. They're down there. I never forgot when I was I was fishing down there at Lake Redmond the one time, and I I saw a snake out there in the water, and I got some stones, and I started throwing stones at it, and I must have hit it, and it went down under the water. That's why he comes up and look back at me, and he was coming at me like he said, "I'm gonna bite you," and he was coming towards me, and I kept throwing stones at him. He kept trying to get past me. I said, I'm gonna get him. That snake was mad. He was going. He was trying to swim as fast as come and try to get me. But another area back there, I know back in the one spot back there where the bridge is back there. If you go on that one side, it's on the right hand side. I guess if you're on, depending on what side of the road you're on. And I know it got quiet. I didn't hear no birds and stuff. And I looking around, I saw a lot of bird feathers all over the ground. But I looked up, there was nothing but snakes all in the trees out there. Looking at you, I said, "Uh-oh, let me get out of here." They were all hanging in the branches, looking down, looking for more birds to jump on. I said, "Ah," but there was feathers all over the ground. They had been killing birds left and right, the snakes down there. And I don't know if they call them water snakes or what they were. I know you got you got the not you got the cockenmouth, but you got the rattlesnakes. You got we have the rattlesnakes here, the big ones. I remember Nixon's Park had one in a cage. If you went to visit Nixon Park down there, they had one. Used to have one in a cage down there, and so they're down there. So I used to look at it as a nasty thing. They had to feed something to it. Probably rabbits or something, or mice. You know, when my other daughter, oldest daughter, she used to have that pythons. Didn't like them. So that's why I don't like the snakes. I don't want to watch them eat. And she used to go to the pet store and get what they call pinkies, the little mice. And she'd dip them in water and put it in the cage and let it go up. And then go up and snake and snatch it and squeeze it and hear the mice go, and when it's taking its life and it swallows them. And she'd give it and feed a couple of them to him. I said, then it got to the point when it got so big, she was feeding rabbits to it. I said, oh, come on. I'm saying, how do you sit there and watch that? I said, I know it's something they got to do, but I don't want to watch it. I said, that's almost sadistic to me. I said, I don't want to do that. I said, because rabbits sometimes is what we keep for pets, and that's nothing. Sit down and feed them to some animals. I said like that. I said, no, I don't care for that. I'm sorry, I'm not a snake lover. No way. I don't care for them. My brother, and we lived in Carlisle, and the snake started hypnotized him when he was young. And my brother was paralyzed. He couldn't move when he saw the snake. The snake was trying to weasel towards it to bite him. And I got a big brick stone, and I threw it down and I killed the snake. I dropped it on the stage and smashed it. Then after when he finally got his head together, I gave him the snake. I said, there. The snake was dead. And then him and the guy went up and down the street trying to throw the snake on me. I remember the thing, I always tell everybody, the first time I met Liberace was in Carlisle. And he was driving this Cadillac, and there's this fancy Cadillac and stuff. And he was going into some woman's house back, one of the wealthier people's houses. And I remember seeing him with this luxury Cadillac, it was a beautiful Cadillac he had just decorated. And that's the time I met him. I heard him playing the piano in there and stuff. But that's the first time I ever saw him. But I was young then, because I was either 9 years old or something like that at the time. But I met him. I didn't talk to him or nothing, but I saw him. I thought I could tell you I didn't meet him. There was a lot of things that I go back. I was thinking about my sister Iris the other day. When Iris used to cook all the time. Iris was a good cook. And she didn't want me to say nothing on the air because her church people, she was afraid they're going to ask her to cook them something. But I used to make the cakes and the pies all the time because I could lick the bowls when it was done and all that. And she didn't want me to say nothing from them. She said, no, don't say nothing to them. I said, why? She said, no, don't say nothing to them. I said, okay, I won't tell them. When I go up there, when I go to that one place where that woman, she's from Johns Hopkins, right? Okay.
We go Tuesday.
I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Well, she's starting to get ugly already. And she is. Because the last time I looked at her, I said, oh my God, what happened to her? I know she's supposed to be married. I said, her husband knows she's getting ugly? I said, I'm sure by now he's probably trying to replace her. I said, because if it was me, I probably would be. I said, because I didn't say nothing to her, and she's always gone up jumping around about Johns Hopkins. I said, all she is a nurse practitioner. You remember that one I had up here going up towards Manchester that I had to get rid of?
Yeah.
She was a sex pot. And I remember when they gave it to me, I said, oh, no. She come there with this tight outfits on and these silky clothes on and high heels on and all this perfume smelling up here. And the first thing she said to me, do you have any problems getting it up? And I said, no, not since you walked in here, I don't. And she just looked at me. I said, well, that's what I don't. And she just looked at me because I told her the truth. I mean, she comes in, I said, is she supposed to be a doctor? Doctors don't dress like that. They don't want you looking at them for sex anything. They want you to listen to them what they're telling you about your health. But this woman was decorated up like she was going to a party. She had these tight outfits on there and all this perfume on and high heels on and these little nylons and stuff. And she just had all this little sexy hair fixed all up and diamond rings, necklaces. And she said that to me. Do you have any problems getting it up? And that's what I said to her. I said, not since you walked in here, I don't. Everybody said, well, you say that. I said, I told her the truth. She asked me a question. I wasn't going to lie to her. I tell you, man, I did. That's why I told him. When I went out there, I told him. I said, "Can you get rid of this woman? I don't want her again." He said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I don't want. I don't want that for the doctor. I need a better doctor than that."
Someone that's professional, man.
Yeah, I think people, a doctor to be a doctor. They don't come here trying to be a sex symbol. I said, I didn't come here for that. I think I'm in a porno place here or something. I said, no, I don't need that. I said, no, get me a regular doctor. I said, doctor, I said, I'm trying to think on my health, make sure that my health is okay. um, now I said, y'all put stuff out. You ain't looking for me to cook it, are you?
No, I'm cooking it. I'm gonna cook it and make some macaroni and that. He always wants to eat chicken. You know what he told me? He
What?
had me laughing so hard last night.
What?
He says that he wants to spend $100 in turkeys.
Oh
He
no.
wants to eat a turkey. He wants to eat a whole turkey every week for a month.
But don't forget, I put that one turkey in his mom's freezer down there.
Yeah,
That's
I know. Dad, I don't know what's up with him wanting to eat turkey.
I don't either. And then you got the two in my freezer.
Yeah, the small little one.
That's a heavy turkey. That's a big turkey I put down there for you. That's why I said, man, you eat.
Christmas is this month.
Huh?
Christmas is this month.
Yeah, well,
I don't. All of that.
I'm not getting into that too much. Our main thing is to see, I gotta get Charles, I told Charles, I may bring my piano and just, substitute when he's taking a break, I just try to do something. I'm
Are you
gonna,
doing the Christmas program at the Christmas attic?
no, I turned it down. I told Bobby Simpson, said no. He said, Joe, you wanted the 20? Like, yeah. I said, no. I said, Mr. Simpson, no, thank you. I said, I don't want to, I'm not gonna do it.
All right.
I said, because because I don't have enough people to help me and I'm not gonna do that. I can't. He said, yeah, well, you just said because the other guy's not with him no more.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I know. We'd have to sit everything out. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I said, I don't even know if the people really appreciate what I was doing or not. Because I got them
People
there.
act like they didn't care.
I guess, I know about the toys they did. Every time we got them.
Oh, what? I didn't want this.
Yeah, they were saying, I said, excuse me? I said, we told this was for people to, now I know that this year there's a lot of families don't have no toys for their kids. They don't even have money for nothing. And this is why you said you didn't mind helping them so the kids have something. You was trying to do something for them. And that's what we was always doing. That's what the Toys for Tots was about. Families, and we told them, say, this is if you're not getting anything, say, please don't come. If you are getting toys, don't say, this is for kids that don't have
Because they're
nothing.
able to find out if you signed out for a whole bunch of different agencies to get.
Yeah, that's what the agencies had to, because people are criminals.
Because I remember they used to reach out to Annie.
Yeah. And they would try all that stuff. And I had them call me, begging me, oh, my son, we don't have that. We don't have it. Beg me. And I said, I'm not Toys for Tots. I just part of the organization, but I'm not them. So you have to call them. That we used to do that all the time. I said, no, because they made us a part of the organization. I said, well, somebody that haven't been able to get over is Frank Little Bear.
Yeah, we haven't. I don't know. I have his number, and every time I call, he don't answer.
I know. You see, his daughter and stuff has always been getting into stuff, graduating stuff up there. So I don't know. I said, well, whatever. No, to me, and I just like I said, I'll have Charles Lee. Charles Lee was going to come up to Christmas Act on the 20th, and I did leave a message to him. No, we're going to just do it here, because I'm not going to do it up there. I said, no, just let him do his thing here. It's good enough. I thought if I want to do something when he comes, I'm going to get my piano. I'm going to do some different stuff to him because I don't want him to say that I'm upstaging him.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do something. I'm going to get ready. I think I'm going to start practicing the Christmas carols. So I'm going to start how well I can get him to play some of the Christmas carols for the Christmas music for the people. I'll do that. Then I'm going to have some. I'll try. I don't know what I did. Since I got this rotator cuff, my arm would hurt sometimes. I'm sitting there playing it, and all of a sudden I got to stop, and my arm, that's so disheartening. But she wants me to go for exercises for that, right?
Yeah, you were supposed to go. I'm not gonna lie, I rescheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were supposed to go, and she wants you to go. I think like she wants you to go on a regular.
Go where?
Go to therapy on a regular.
Well, how's therapy going to help me?
She things by moving it more is gonna help.
But because I know my hand down there, my wrist was hurting today. Starting to get there. It almost felt like I had carpal tunnel there, but I know I don't. But it did. The pain went down my arm and turned into the hand there. And I thought, I said, man, wow. What is, I said, I don't know. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to figure it out. Did you see the last time that I seen that doctor? She act like she was my mother. I was seeing that. I was almost laughed a little bit the way she was talking to me because of her kids. She acted like I was one of her kids. And I just sort of laughed at it. I said I was going to say yes, mother. Goodness. Yeah, she's all right though. No, she knows her business as a doctor. She does. I know that. I have to give her that respect. She does know what she's doing. I know what she's doing. And I said, don't go put no gloves on your hand. You ain't putting your hand in my butt. She said, I said, don't be put no gloves on. I know you doctors like to do that stuff. I said, don't even think about it. I said, you got the wrong guy for that. Huh? Yeah, I know. They said, we're going to check the prostate. I said, no, you got x-ray. Do some x-ray. Yeah, go ahead. You can play what you want to play right now. I'm done talking. I'm listening over. Okay. Wow.
Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
From time immemorial, stories of ingenuity, creativity, and relentless struggle have shaped human progress. But nestled among those grand narratives are the quieter, often tragic accounts of individuals whose innovations were co-opted, stolen, or wholly erased, especially when those individuals were Black, living under the weight of racism, inequality, prejudice, and legal exclusion. This is not a parable of failure, but rather an epic of resistance, heartache, and a long, slow unmasking of the forces that built empires on borrowed brilliance. In this sweeping history, we trace one of those stories, a Black man whose invention was stolen, and whose innovation helped lay the foundations of an empire that profited while he was denied credit, recompense, and recognition. It is a story that demands we look beyond simple narratives of great inventors and face the tangled web of power, law, race, and exploitation. We begin by peering into the 19th century, where the patent system, theoretically neutral, was anything but in practice. The legal machinery of invention in America was blind to color in theory, but in real life, that blindness masked deep systemic exclusion. Many African Americans, especially enslaved persons, were barred from holding patents because they were not recognized as citizens. Even after emancipation, pervasive racism, economic inequality, and institutional barriers made it extremely difficult for Black inventors to secure, defend, or monetize their inventions. Owners, intermediaries, white partners, or companies often seized these inventions or pressed the inventors into disadvantageous contracts. One illustrative episode lies in the life of Granville Taylor Woods, a self-taught African-American inventor born in 1856. He was often called the Black Edison because of his prolific output in electrical and transportation technologies. Woods accumulated over 60 U.S. patents, many involving railway telegraphy, electrical safety devices, and systems to coordinate signals on moving trains and railway lines. But Woods's path was not straightforward. One of his inventions, related to a system for signaling and telegraphy on moving trains, was effectively stolen by a business associate. Woods entered into an agreement with a company managed by James S. Zerby to bring his invention to market. According to historical accounts, crucial elements of the design were withheld, misappropriated, and patented in the name of the company. Woods sued for infringement and was acquitted in court, but Zerby had already appropriated rights, patented in Europe, and used the design's monopoly value to generate profits. This was not merely petty betrayal. The stakes were enormous. in the millions of dollars at the time. The empire built on Woods's work was partially built by others who capitalized on his innovation after stripping him of key rights. But that episode is just one among many. Long before Woods, in the antebellum era, enslaved inventors had their inventions taken, their legal claims suppressed, and their credit erased. Because slaves were not legally persons with full rights, the U.S. patent system effectively excluded them. Many slave owners or intermediaries simply claimed inventions as their own. Historians have documented how owners would try to register patents for inventions conceived by enslaved workers or deny them compensation entirely. The inventions ranged widely, from agricultural tools to mechanical devices, yet the creators remained invisible. Consider Henry Boyd, born into slavery in Kentucky in 1802. After gaining his freedom, Boyd invented the Boyd bedstead, a design improvement on bed rails and frames. Knowing that his race would make patenting difficult, Boyd enlisted a white partner to file for a patent. Eventually, sympathy and business networks allowed him to succeed in selling his beds, employing both black and white apprentices. But his original claim to the invention was always mediated through someone else. Then there was Benjamin Montgomery, who was born into slavery and became a plantation manager. He invented a specialized steamboat propeller for shallow waters, but his slave status barred him from the patent office. His owner attempted to patent the idea himself, but the U.S. court struck it down, stating that the owner was neither the true inventor nor qualified under the law. The result, Montgomery's innovation went uncompensated, and his name was lost to mainstream historical memory. It was in this context of pervasive appropriation and erasure that many black innovators navigated the world. Some chose to avoid formal patenting entirely, fearing appropriation, legal battles, or outright denial. Many accepted covert arrangements, turning over formal rights in exchange for small shares or patronage. Others were forced into disadvantageous partnerships or deferred recognition. For every celebrated inventor like Thomas Edison, there were dozens of uncredited, underpaid, or suppressed inventors whose contributions the empire quietly absorbed. Back in the post-Reconstruction and Gilded Age period, as electrification, railroads, telegraph lines, and urban infrastructure expanded, the demand for new devices and safety systems skyrocketed. Inventors like Woods were on the cutting edge, but they also faced competition from major industrial powers, companies with deep pockets, legal teams, and patent portfolios. Such companies were adept at litigating, intimidating, or absorbing smaller inventors. In many cases, inventors like Woods were forced to defend their patents in court repeatedly. Thomas Edison, for one, challenged competing claims and sometimes attempted to litigate against African American inventors, hoping to subsume their ideas under his vast corporate umbrella. The legal battles drained resources, disrupted business, and diverted time and energy from further innovation. Meanwhile, others built empires atop technologies that had black roots, even when those roots were obscured. The railroads, telegraphs, electric utilities, streetcar lines, and urban transit systems all relied heavily on improvements in safety, signaling, and control made by engineers like Woods. When Woods sold the rights to some of his patents to major companies, those companies integrated them into national systems, benefiting from his inventive genius. Some features became standard, essential, and lucrative, but the narrative around growth, progress, and industrial superiority rarely credited him. The empire of electrification and modern transit spread, often forgetting that many of its foundational innovations came from black minds fighting uphill battles. In parallel, there was the heartbreaking case of Lewis Temple, born into slavery in 1800, eventually becoming a blacksmith and innovator in Massachusetts. Temple created what became known as Temple's toggle or Temple's iron, a harpoon-tip innovation that significantly improved the success of whaling operations, as its toggle prevented whales from escaping. However, because Temple did not patent his invention, others copied and sold the idea as their own, while Temple gained little to none of the financial benefit. He lived comfortably enough to build his own workshop, but the absence of patent protection meant that the profit flowed outward rather than to him. In this sense, the empire of the whaling industry appropriated his technical insight, while Temple remained marginal to the financial gains. These stories, Woods, Boyd, Montgomery, Temple, are emblematic of a larger historical pattern. They show that black inventors operated within a system stacked against them, a legal sphere that denied access, a corporate sphere willing to appropriate or litigate unfairly, and a historical sphere that erased attribution. Over time, the empire of industrial America and the world of modern infrastructure came to rely heavily on such unsung hands. As the 20th century dawned, new technologies, from electricity to automobiles to communication systems, multiplied both opportunity and peril. Black inventors continued to contribute, but often under duress or without full recognition. Some succeeded despite the odds, others perished as footnotes in patent archives. The broader empire, big corporations, growing utilities, telecommunication giants, absorbed their inventions, packaging them under brand names, polished patents, and multinational networks. Yet, in recent decades, historians, archivists, and scholars have begun the long work of rediscovery. Efforts such as the Lemelson Center's Lost Histories of African American Inventors have cataloged previously marginalized inventors, rescuing names from archives. More popular histories and Black studies scholars are now spotlighting stories like these, acknowledging that the narrative of modern progress is incomplete without them. In many cases, descendants or communities are reclaiming inheritances of memory, erecting plaques, museums, or legal recognition. So when we say they stole this black man's invention and built an empire, we speak of a pattern rather than a single moment. We speak of how a legal system excluding black persons was embedded into economic growth, how industrial empires leveraged appropriated ideas, how inventors like Woods, Temple, Boyd, and Montgomery labored in obscurity even as their technical legacies powered growth. Their names may have been omitted from textbooks, but their inventions are woven into the fabric of modern systems: railroads, electric transit, signaling and control, mechanical devices, safety systems, marine tools. To understand the empire is to recognize the unpaid debt to those who built it from behind the shadows. There is both tragedy and triumph in this history. Tragedy for the injustices, the theft, the legal battles, the silencing. Triumph for the resilience of the inventors, their technical mastery, and the slow process of historical restoration. Their stories remind us that technology is never neutral. It is built by people, within institutions, and often under the weight of power. If we understand who really contributed, we begin to see a more honest, interwoven history, one that demands not only recognition but symbolic and material redress. In telling this history at length, we resist a sanitized narrative of progress. We insist that innovation was not just the merit of a few nameless giants, but also of those the world chose to forget. By restoring these stories, we do not merely correct the record. We challenge the very foundation of how empires are told to rise and whose brilliance is allowed to shine.
I'm not tired. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. You know, the other thing that I'm saying that a lot of the stuff that we was talking about is that in this day and age, I don't know if the people understand it, so I think I should repeat it. I'm not going to be doing the Toys for Tots this year because they have already booked everything. They way been booked. You know, when I called them way back when I called them, they were booked months ago.
Yeah, they were telling me now you got to start it in October.
Yeah,
So I was like, how are we gonna have a date?
yeah, I know. You say, did you hear me? Because that's what they say that now it's getting to a point where you have to start asking for toys for starting in October, not in November or December. It's got to be in October now because they're booked. And the thing is, I know about it because uh, so many because especially when the president shut the government down, it made it on hard on so many people. They don't have nothing for their children, and I understand that. I feel for you, but I can't really do nothing about it. I tried I tried. I did the best that I can. I'm always trying to make our town here look better. I can, and our people make them happy because I don't want you fighting no one and going crazy and going to jail. Because that's what happens when people get mad. They start getting violent, and I try to calm it down some way or another. That's why sometimes I try to do music. They say music calms the savage beast. I try to do something
That
there.
is very true.
Yeah, well, I know, but I tried to do something maybe because old school, some of the old songs that you don't forgot about that meant something to you at the time can help bring you back down into a normality. And I try to tell you there is a thin line between sane and insane. And in case I didn't say it before, I'm pretty sure I did. But when a person, what you must understand is, folks, when someone gets angry, they're going into the insane part of their brain, how it works. And it puts them in a problem where they can almost do anything, any kind of violent thing, if they can't stop it. The further they go over to the insane side, the more crazy thing they're going to do. And that's what people know, that's why people understand it. Like I said, when I had those neighbors that day from 9 o'clock in the evening to 6 o'clock in the morning, arguing and getting drunk and carrying high off of something and fighting one another, I was hearing them all night long, banging up against my house. It was falling against the wall on the sidewalk. I was surprised they didn't bust their heads open or anything. And I didn't call the police on them. I didn't. I kept saying, well, maybe they'll stop. No, they didn't stop till 6 o'clock in the morning. And I sat up all night long. I said, man, what is wrong with these folks? Why are they? And they were threatening one another. Every time I got a gun, come on off. I said, here we go. I said, oh my God. Well, the police came later. But time the police come, the guy there had got in the car and left. So I just said, well, I said, I'm not going to disturb the police because they got enough to deal with while I was dealing with this crazy stuff. So that's the reason I didn't call them because I just said, well, whatever. They weren't actually hurting each other. I don't think they were just more like mouthing one another and threatening and that kind of stuff. But the thing that my daughter was telling me, I think that the police need to be aware of her job out there because the one guy when they fired the guy, he threatened he's going to come back and shoot up the place. When they say that, that's for real. That's a serious thing. Because the post office done it. Those guys, when they fired, they come back and get crazy. They start shooting up the place. Innocent people get shot and killed. They need to have I know you said the security guards, they can't do nothing, but they need to get the police to be aware of it and to watch that guy and be prepared for him at any time because they're not playing. The craziness is crazy.
I made sure I told the young girl, I was like, you can stay in my vehicle or, I'll take you home because she was scared to be outside because she didn't know if he was going to still be outside waiting for her.
Yeah.
Or what. I was like, well, I don't want to risk it. It was a young girl. Like, she was younger than me. I was like, I don't want her to get hurt.
And what it is these men, they get carried away. They like some woman because she's pretty and they think they try to possess them.
Yeah, they felt like they could just touch people, and they felt like I'm what it touches.
Yeah, they just do that. They figure if you ain't gonna be with me, I'll take you. I'll kidnap you. I'll do it. That's crazy. It's you ladies are in danger, and I've always told you ladies, and I'll repeat it again. You need to go learn some martial arts to protect yourself, and I told all of you that. And if you don't do it, then that's your dumbness. So if you get yourself beat up, that's because you didn't do what I told you. If you got martial arts, no, you have a better chance that nobody can hurt you. They'll show you what you can do. I don't care how big, how heavy the guy, I don't care if you weigh 300 pounds, you know how to defeat yourself, how to defeat it. They can all be defeated. I used to teach my daughters things because I took Okinawan style karate. And I'm showing you that even if they choke you or anything, how to get out of it, they wrap the arms around, what to do, they want to punch you, how to stop it, how to get away from it, how to dodge it. Get to martial arts training. Go to school. It's worth every penny of it. Get to a reputable school, though. Don't get around this stuff. And I'm not saying that about Kim's karate, but my son, I did start him out at Kim's karate, but I'm sorry, I didn't see that being efficient enough for him. So then I got him to Ishin full contact karate, where it was efficient. Because what my son learned to do, he can beat the heck out of anybody. He can knock you out with a blow. Anything, and he's fast at it. He's very quick, and that's what George Abel taught him. They don't play. They did full contact karate, full contact. It's like you're a boxer, you're a fighter. You're going out there. There ain't nobody pulling punches. No, you're gonna learn build yourself up and how to take it and how to avoid it and how to give it back. That's full-time karate. That's full contact. And you ladies can learn it too. And you can learn how to take and protect your life, yourself. And if you don't do it, that's just dumb to me because it's available to you. It is available. And if they make a lot of plans for you ladies, they come out, they try to make sure that you learn something, get something done. It can maybe save you and your family's life. So we're living in a world that there's a lot of crazy people, just what she was just telling me at her job. This Muslim guy came over and decided he wanted to grab this woman's breast against her. He to come back and woman's not, he started putting a hand around, feeling her breast, just grabbing her breast. You know, I mean, this type of stuff goes on. And this crazy people, just nuts. You ladies is always in danger, always. And I'm telling you, because you got some sick-minded people. Ladies, you listen to what I'm telling you. Get and learn to get on the phone. Find the schools that will teach you and help you. Even contact the police department. They will tell you something.
They even have something called kickboxing and all that.
Yeah, they got all that. You know, most of you ladies, I want you to understand something. You don't realize how powerful your legs really are. Your hands might not be as strong as the men, but your legs are. Your legs are extremely powerful. You can down a man very quickly if you learn. One of the most powerful things you got. See, men is top heavy, women are bottom heavy. You understand that? Think about that. Get out there and learn something to help yourself protect your life. I'm giving you the best advice I can give you. It's just a hope for many will save your life one day. I'm telling you, we're living in a very dangerous world. So that's the other thing besides Trump and his crazy people. Those people are crazy. They'll hurt you. They'll shoot you, stab you for talking about him. They are that is called the demons, the devils out of hell. What he's got. He's picked them all out. Everything that's hiding in the house that hears his voice, they come out, and they will react to what he says. He's got them under his command, and that's why you hear all this stuff. That Marjorie Taylor Greene learned it. That's why she says, and that's why she used to be supporting Trump until she found out this man is wrong. If you look at something, this Jeffrey Epstein situation, Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile, but even he knew Trump was a crook. And he was bad. He even said it. Jeffrey Epstein's brother said that's why Jeffrey Epstein started hanging with him when he learned that Trump was actually a crook. Did you understand that? That he was a crook. The pedophile got away from him. He realized that he was worse, he was just as bad, if not worse than him. So that going to explain something to you. Now, if you don't understand that, then folks, you don't want to. You're just hooked, line and sinker with the demon technology that he's put in your brain. And you need some help. You need Jesus really bad, to get the demons away from you, to get them out of your home, get them out of your life. Because they're gonna cause you to do something stupid that you're gonna regret for the rest of your life. But that's what that means. They got that power. They'll drag you down in the pits of hell with them. You'll murder, kill someone. You'll do anything for him. You're supposed to be living for Jesus Christ, not for Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump is supposed to be living for the country, and he don't do that either. He don't respect any of the laws. The judges gave him something he can't do something, and he just go on doing it. He just ignores them. He ignores them. He gets away with it. You and I couldn't do that. They've been thrown us in jail. The one judge and I was looking at, he's trying to see if Donald Trump broke his word. He knows he did. I know he did. I don't even need to look into it. The judge gave him an order, and he didn't, and he ain't do it. The judge said, well, he's looking to see if he violated his order. I said, yes, it's obvious he did. He's doing it right in front of your face. You got to look into it. I said, no. I said, that makes me wonder about all of these people. They know he did that. And he don't care. He just keep right on doing it. What you going to do about it? You can't do nothing to him. You can't snatch him out of the White House and throw him in jail. That's never happened. It's not going to happen. And that's why I keep repeating it to you. He is not going to resign. No matter what you hear on that news, all these people talking about, yeah, they're all of Nargis impeachment, and we're telling him he should resign, and they're going to put the parliament. He's not Nixon. Nixon had some kind of a conscience, even though he was crook too, but he had a conscience. He had enough sense to resign. He didn't want to go to jail. Trump is different. See, you got to remember something. And if you look back at Nixon, Nixon was convicted of all these felonies. Trump was convicted with 30-some felonies, folks. That's a conviction. Each one could carry 10 years in prison or more. Each one of those. And it's all concerning a woman. How about that? That's show you where his mind's at. Then you know the thing is that now they're bringing out that his supposed to be son is actually his kid to his daughter, Ivanka. They got the documentation proof of it now. They got the proof. Even Obama's got it. You forgot when you're a former president, they advise you of all kinds of stuff. They give you all the facts of the government. Even though Obama's not the president no more, he still gets it. All former presidents, Bush and all of them, they all get what's going on in the government. They are aware of it. They are totally always aware. They're brought up to just like the president's aware of it now. So are they. They're aware of what's going on. We don't know what's going on, but they do. I want you folks to understand that. All former presidents get briefings all the time on the current situation of the United States of America. Now, do you understand that? This is how they do. The other thing here's the other thing. Let me just run this to you, too. The one that brought up was Jasmine Crockett. But what many of you fail to understand who Jasmine Crockett's husband is. Jasmine Crockett's husband is a retired federal judge, which means he can have access to information that a lot of people can't get. He's a retired federal judge. That's Jasmine's husband, her husband. They don't even bring him up. He's in the scene. And they're wondering how come she knows so much. He can get the information nobody else can get. So you understand what I'm telling you. You're dealing with people that are in the laws and they get better stuff than the FBI and all this stuff. They know all this stuff. And she was the one thing. Here's something else for you to think about. With Jasmine Crockett bringing up about Ivanka being his son's mother, did you ever hear Trump trying to sue her? Not once, now did he? What does that tell you? Because you know Trump will say, "Oh, I'm suing him. I'm suing." How come he did? How come he ain't suing son Jasmine Crockett for making that statement publicly? Publicly. And you can't figure that out because he know what it means. It means it'll go to court, and the facts will come out. Now, do you understand? That's why you don't hear him threatening about lawsuits. You know, if you slander somebody, they can make you want to go to court. They'll try to sue you and all that. But you don't hear that, do you? One thing you don't hear Trump doing that. Trump knows better. So if he's wrong, how come he ain't trying to sue her? It's known publicly. How come he ain't trying to sue Obama for the same? Obama said it too. So I'm giving you some people to understand what's going on here. Open your eyes and understand what you're hearing. And what you're saying, you'd be wondering, why is Obama saying it? Because they know the facts. They know the facts on Jeffrey Epstein, too. More and more folks' facts is leaking out all the time about him messing with them young girls. All that kind of stuff you do, because they know he's a pedophile. Trump's a pedophile. He's been doing it. You've been hearing the stuff he's been saying. In other words, it means that he has sex with his daughter, Ivanka. That's why he's got Jared, his son. And they got the proof of it. Did you hear me, folks? I repeat it. They got the proof. Obama brought it up. Jasmine Crockett brought it, and they were showing the documentation that they checked it out and found out